The book I Granci della Marana, Irene Bernasconi and the Children's Home of Palidoro is a diary written between December 1915 and June 1916 by teacher Bernasconi during and stay in one of Italy's first rural schools, in the village of Palidoro, north of Rome, in a swampy area full of marshes and as such particularly plagued by malaria. That necessary premise have been made, one can imagine what Irene, upon arrival in Palidoro, may have found. The Guiti, nomadic peasant families mainly from Ciociaria, were seasonal workers who spent the cold months in this area with their families to return to the mountains in the hot months, when malaria began to claim victims. When the doors of the children's home opened on December 9 in 1915, teacher Bernasconi's class had 27 members, which became 36 the following March. This book represents an official document required by the Ente Scuole per I Contadini dell'Agro Romano, consisting in 154 pages, in which the children's name and surnames, absentees, and proposed activities were listed in addition to their names and surnames. The diary is a valuable contribution to the study and knowledge by new generations of how a rural school was structured, managed, and organized in the early 90s, with a Montessorian stamp in a difficult territory such as the Agro Romano. The diary is all of that, but not only that. It also tells us how dedicated teacher Irene was to her work, what a teacher she could be to her pupils, and how she took each of her little ones to heart. But who is Irene Bernasconi? Irene was born in Chiasso, Switzerland, on July 28, 1886, to a wealthy family. After moving to Milan to complete her Montessori studies in 1915-1916 school year, she became director and teacher of the children's home in Palidoro. At the end of this experience, probably for health reasons, she returned to Chiasso, where she continued to teach, interspersing periods in Italy. In 1921, she met what would later, in 1923, become her husband, elementary school teacher Felice Socciarelli. After living in Mezzasilva and Vetralla, they moved to Rome in 1934, where only Felice would continue teaching, while Irene devoted herself to family life and her two daughters. She died in Chiasso on March 17, 1970, at the age of 84. Before coming to Palidoro, Irene had never had the opportunity to learn about the costumes, traditions, and dialects of the Agro Romano area. She found herself in a reality that no matter how much she had wanted and tried, she would not easily understand. At the beginning of her experience, for Irene, the Ciociaro dialect turned out to be incomprehensible. But the weeks go by and Irene tried to reduce more and more the linguistic distance between her and the children. She slowly begins to understand that dialect, and even the children, in their own small way, take a step towards good manners, also thanks to the Montessori method that she will wisely manage to make her own and adapt it to that very complex reality. The Montessori method is a discipline whose goal is to give freedom to the child to manifest its spontaneity. At the time, the Montessori method spread very rapidly, and Comitato delle Scuole per i Contadini provided Montessori materials to the teachers. Furniture, small chairs and tables, but also textbooks, syllabaries, alphabets, and decorative panels, and a cupboard to store everything ordinarily, as the method suggests. In the course of her experience, Irene would follow the direction of the Montessori method very precisely, but with mastery and extreme humanity and intelligence, she would manage to adapt even those aspects that she probably did not think were consistent with where she was. The success that Irene will reap in these months in Palidoro will be many, sometimes unexpected even for herself. Children just a few years old, very poor, in conditions of extreme economic and cultural hardship, with illiterate, often violent parents, will be transformed from undisciplined pupils into willing and attentive school children. They will learn to read, write, and count, an important achievement from them and for their teacher. More than 1,000 years have passed since Irene wrote this journal, and yet it is so current, so present, so contemporary. The needs of young learners at the center of a teaching that revolves around them, with the sole purpose of making them conscious, autonomous, independent adults. Bernasconi was able to teach them respect for themselves and others, showing respect for them herself first and foremost, often questioning her work as an educator, always paying attention to their needs and requirements. She revealed herself to be an anthropologist with an immense human capacity to relate to children and the surrounding reality. In her experience, Irene understood an important concept. The Montessori pedagogical proposal is not a set of recipes to be applied, but a philosophy of life, a peculiar way of looking at the child, seeing his potential, encouraging him and relating to him.